It is 6:14 a.m. The baby wasn't supposed to be up yet, but you hear her rustling on the monitor. Your eyes are barely open. It's still dark outside, and now you're calculating the ripple effect on how the day is going to play out. If she's up now, that means that the morning nap is going to be off, which means that lunch will be off, which then means that the whole day is going to feel totally scrambled. You walk into the kitchen and yesterday's dishes are still on the counter, not because you purposely tried to ignore them, but because your toddler dropped a nap again and you never got to catch your breath. The sink isn't overflowing, but it's just enough to make your chest tighten. And then your husband asks you, "Did she sleep well?" And you want to laugh because you don't even remember how the night went. All you know is that you woke up twice, actually maybe 3 times, and now the day feels like it's already 2 steps ahead of you. You pour your tea, but before you even take one sip, your toddler is tugging at your pajama pants, asking for breakfast, and suddenly you feel that familiar sense of, I thought we had a rhythm. Why does it feel like things are falling apart again? And then the quiet, guilty thought, why can't I get it together? But what if that's actually not what's happening here? Welcome to the Modern Homemaker Mom podcast. I'm your host, Jynae Schmidt. If you found yourself here, it means that you're ready to break free from overwhelm, create a peaceful, well-run home, and finally live with more structure, margin, and stability. Here you'll find practical rhythms, real-life systems, and faith-filled encouragement you need to simplify your home and reclaim your time so that you can show up fully for the life God is calling you to. Let's get started. Now, you've been taught to read moments like I laid out for you in this scenario at the beginning of this episode as a sign that something is wrong, that you're disorganized, that you're inconsistent, maybe you're behind, not managing well enough. But this is what is actually happening. Your home isn't chaotic, your life isn't completely out of control, and you're not failing as a mother or as a wife. You are in a transitional season, and you're treating it like it's a stable one. Most women try to fix these moments by tightening their routines, by adding more structure, or pushing through harder. But transitional seasons don't respond well to force. They respond to keeping things simple. You're not struggling because you're not trying hard enough. You're struggling because your life has shifted and your rhythm hasn't caught up yet. When your child drops a nap, when your husband's work schedule changes, or your pregnancy shifts the energy that you're having, or sleep regression hits, your home is naturally going to tilt, not into chaos, but into a new season that requires a new kind of steadiness. Now, this isn't a problem. This is feedback. It's your home giving you feedback. And this is why all of those rhythms or the routines you've tried in the past never seem to stick. It's because they weren't built for the season that you were actually living. Now, a few months ago, our whole world kind of shifted overnight. I've talked about this on the podcast before, but we're going to talk about it a little more today. We ended our rental, downsized our entire house. We sold half of our belongings, packed up, and moved provinces. We used to live in BC, and then we moved to Alberta, all in under 3 weeks. Like, think about that for a second. 3 weeks. I was in my first trimester of pregnancy. I was chasing our busy toddler around the house. I was trying to keep up with my business and holding the emotional load of all of this change. Then right as we landed in our new spot in Alberta, my husband's work also shifted because instead of being home every single night, he suddenly had to work out of town for anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks at a time with no guarantee of coming home in between. I went from having a partner home daily to solo parenting while pregnant, living in a temporary space, trying to build new routines in a whole completely unfamiliar environment. And I kept thinking to myself, why does everything feel harder than it used to? Even 3 months ago when things felt so simple, why does it feel so much harder now? The dishes weren't overflowing necessarily. My days weren't chaotic, but everything has felt slightly off. Like the rhythm that I relied on 3 months ago didn't fit me anymore. It wasn't that I was failing. It was that my life had shifted into this new season, and I was still expecting myself to function as I was before. Now, once I accepted that this was a seasonal transition, not a personal problem, something softened me, and I simplified, I let go of the pressure, and I stopped demanding stability from a season that really couldn't offer it. And everything has felt lighter since then. Not because everything got easier all of a sudden, but because I finally saw the season for what it was. Real quick, can I say something that might hit close to home? If homemaking feels harder than it should, like you're constantly behind, constantly resetting, it's not you. It's the lack of method that actually fits your season of life, which is why I created my signature offer, Modern Homemaker Method. And right now I'm rebuilding it, not because it wasn't working before, but because it's time to teach the secret frameworks that I have trusted myself for years. The ones that have carried me through every season of life. Busy, slow, pregnancy, postpartum, interrupted, and still hold. Yes, I teach decluttering and cleaning, but this goes beyond surface tips. This course is a full roadmap for building a peaceful, life-giving home built around rhythms that honor your energy, your capacity, and your actual life. This course is closed right now while I finish these powerful upgrades, but if you're on the VIP waitlist, you're going to get early access to the course, VIP-only bonuses that the public will not get access to, as well as sneak peeks as I build this next chapter with you in mind. If you're ready for a method that finally works, you can become one of my VIPs by going to jynaeschmid.com/waitlist or tap the link below in the show notes. Remember, this isn't just another course, it's the framework you've been missing, and I can tell you it's going to change your life because that's what it did for me. Now, back to the episode. Now here's the shift that I'm talking about. When you start seeing your home through seasons, you finally allow yourself to live with them instead of tugging against them. You stop asking things like, how do I fix this? And you start asking things instead like, what season am I in? And what does this season actually need? This tiny shift is going to remove the pressure instantly, because transitional seasons do not need more discipline, more structure, more effort, or more productivity. What they need is less clutter, less pressure from you, less expectation, and more breathing room. One lens shift will change everything. Now, when you misread your season, what happens is you burn out very quickly. You hold yourself to these standards that do not match your capacity. You try to run stable season rhythms during a transition season, and it feels like pushing a boulder uphill. You blame yourself for not keeping up, you assume that you're doing something wrong, and you push harder instead of taking a step back and pausing. And the cost isn't just physical exhaustion, it's that constant internal pressure that's whispering to you that you should be doing better. But you're not supposed to thrive in every single season the exact same way. That is not how God designed you, and it's not how He designed your home to be. Now, what I want you to do right now is to imagine waking up tomorrow, and instead of fighting the day, you're now reading it. You recognize that you are in this transitional season, and it's okay to feel different right now. And instantly, your standards are going to shift. Your rhythm is going to soften, your home becomes simpler, and your emotional load drops by half. You're not trying to stabilize something that is designed to shift anymore. You are letting the season guide your expectations. Now, when you live this way, life feels lighter, even when it's full. You feel more grounded, more steady, more aligned with the woman that God created you to be. Your home begins to reflect the season instead of resisting it, and suddenly, the days start to make sense again. Not because everything is perfect, but because you understand that season of life that you're in. Now think of a day where lunchtime doesn't feel frantic, where you actually sit for a minute. You can hear your toddler's little voice beside you, and you can feel present instead of feeling rushed. Now, if that's the steadiness that you are craving, you're going to want to join the waitlist for the Modern Homemaker Method, which is where your days finally start matching your season that you're in. The link is there for you below in the show notes of this episode, or you can head directly to jynaeschmid.com/waitlist. Now remember, your home is not working against you, it's trying to communicate. And when you learn to read those cues instead of pushing through them, that's when everything's going to get simpler. And thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to follow the show and leave a quick review with your biggest takeaway from today's episode. You can just scroll down on Apple Podcast and you'll see the spot to rate it and share a few words. It would make a bigger difference than you know. I love hearing from you. And I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Did something in today's episode encourage you? If it did, would you take a minute to hit subscribe and leave a quick review? It's such a simple way to support this show and help other homemakers find this encouragement as well. And if you're looking for even more support in your homemaking journey, come join our free Facebook group. Just head over to bit.ly/homeroutines. Thanks for tuning in today. I'll see you in the next episode.